Hey guys, Joe Tunney here at Infiniti of Kirkland in Kirkland, Washington, just outside of Seattle on a spectacular midwinter day. We've been having the most amazing warm and dry winter. Probably has something to do with the Seahawks winning games. Everybody here seems to believe that good fortune in football means good weather outside, and so far that's been holding true. Taking a look at a 2010 G37S sedan, and one of the true sleepers in the car business, in that it's not on everybody's short list of high-performance cars. I mean, sure, BMW M3 is widely recognized, and on the other end of the spectrum, you have the WRX STIs and the Evos and all the other hot rod cars, and there's a million fun cars out there. Not many people realize just what these G37Ss bring to the table. It's a 328 horsepower, 270 foot-pound of torque, naturally aspirated, very strong V6 engine. It's called our VQ, and a very evenly balanced weight distribution front and rear. These Sports give you posi traction limited slip differential in the rear, and then cool wheels, different seats. But all in all, the whole package of this car, it's super fast. High top end speed, dramatic acceleration, amazing braking, especially on the Type S, which has different brakes altogether. And then it's so reliable, compared and combined with the fact that it has amazing resale value, especially when you get one that's a few years old with low miles. It's obviously depreciated just because of the time, but the miles are still low. You look at what these cars bring, 80, 90, 100,000 miles, and you're like, God, why doesn't everybody buy these? The difference in price between what you pay and what it's worth 3, 4, 5 years from now is very modest compared to even much less expensive cars. And but it's not on everybody's list, and so good news for you. When we get them, they tend to be a hot ticket. We just don't get them all that often. Let's take a look at this particular car, one of my favorite colors, vibrant red, in the Infiniti lineup, having owned a vibrant red coupe for many years. This 2010 has only 27,000 miles, and if you know much about Infiniti of Kirkland, you know that within 5,000 miles of its major service, we're going to do it. So this car's just come in, and I can see like these tires have a little bit of wear. We're obviously going to replace the tires. We're not going to sell a car with edge wear on the tires. And then that major service will be done as well. So you're going to get as close to a brand new car as you possibly can. And then again, it's a great warranty on this car: 4 years, 60,000 miles, bumper to bumper; 6 years, 70,000 miles, powertrain, and so you're under abundant factory warranty as well. Now, if you look at the wheels on this, they're distinctive to the Type S, and so you can tell them from a mile away. It does require these special wheels for a reason. It has different brakes than the other Infiniti Gs have. Much larger, high-performance Infiniti brakes, and so those calipers are quite large, and they just barely snug into the curvature of this spoke right there, and so it needs that clearance. The other wheels don't give it the clearance that it needs. Taking a look inside, well, it comes with sport seats. When you see sport wheels, you know sport on the outside means sport on the inside. And so it has these heavily bolstered seats with these extra leg extensions. And as you're looking at the video, you might be thinking, gosh, this car's a little dirty. Don't they wash these cars at Infiniti of Kirkland? Yes, it just arrived about an hour ago. And so we haven't even hosed the car down yet. It'll be completely reconditioned mechanically and both inside and out. And so this car will look just like a brand new car when we're ready to retail it. We're just ready to talk about it on the internet right now. And so for those of you who have not experienced a G before, well, let me tell you something. I'm 6 foot, 195 pounds, and I get inside a G, and I'm quite at home. It's actually very, very comfortable. Here, let me turn it on. Push button start, that's always a nice touch. And so one thing you're going to notice right out of the get-go is that it has tilt and telescopic steering. I talk about this feature a lot because I think it's a great feature. Not just the tilt and telescopic steering, but you'll notice when I go up and down, the entire gauge assembly goes up and down with the tilt mechanism. So the steering wheel never blocks your field of view. A lot of different cars, you'll move the steering wheel, but then you can't see the gauges. And so you're constantly trying to find some way to get comfortable where you can both see what's going on in the outside world, see what's going on with your gauges, and then also somehow be comfortable. Well, in the Infiniti, you don't have to worry about it at all. Not just the tilt, but it also has telescopic steering. So for somebody like me with a little bit longer legs, I like to stretch out a little bit. Well, I don't want to reach out now for the steering wheel. I want to bring the steering wheel nice and close so I'm relaxed. It doesn't put any pressure on my lower back. People with bad backs, they love Type S's because these seats really hold you, and they're very supportive, and they're good on your back. So if you've got back problems, you're probably going to be a fan of the Type S interior. Now, I've got the seat where I'm comfortable in the front, but if I take a look in back, am I pinched back here? No, not at all. In fact, my knees don't even touch the seat in front of me. And so, lots of headroom, plenty of room for 4 full-size adults, 5 in a pinch, a real pinch actually. It'd be pretty snug for this 5th person. But for 4, you're in great shape. 3 kids, I have 3 kids, no problem at all. It's plenty roomy for 3 kids, even 3 bigger kids. And then you'll notice too, for moms, the door on the back, most car doors open to about this point right here. You'll notice this wheel well right here. Well, if I'm getting a baby seat out, people, I tell you, and please take me up on this, if you're thinking about having a child, or if you have a child, you have a baby seat, and you're test driving cars, bring the baby seat with you. I can't emphasize that enough. And if you really want to go the extra mile, bring a bowling ball with you if the baby's still on the way. And the reason is that not all cars, trucks, and sport utilities work like you think they're going to work for a baby seat. It has to do with the wheel well and with the way that the door opens. A car that opens like this, if I have to reach in there and get a baby seat out, I may put into my head, hey, I got plenty of room for a baby seat. Yeah, try and get that baby seat out of here. And so you have to reach way in and pick that up. Put a baby seat with a bowling ball in here. If you've got any kind of back problem, it'll really exacerbate that back problem. And so you really need to be conscientious when you're out shopping, especially if babies are going to be in the car, that you factor that into your actual test drive. Sure, lots of cars drive nice on a sunny day, but do they work for you? That's a really important question. The reason I bring all that up is that this door, believe it or not, just opening that little extra 5-6 inches to a true 90 degrees makes all the difference in the world. I'm not reaching like this anymore. I'm comfortably reaching like this, and it makes a big difference. And so for those of you who again, I'm not to belabor the same point, but please, if you're test driving for a baby in mind, bring the baby seat. Taking a look in the trunk. Now, it's a spacious enough trunk. It's definitely not a best in class. You'll hear a lot of people critique the G series and they say the trunk's too small. Of course it's too small. It's a rear-wheel drive car. Most rear-wheel drive cars have small trunks. It's the nature of having a drive shaft that goes from the engine to the back wheels. Have to raise the floorboard up to accommodate the fact that you have a drive shaft going back there, and it does compromise the space. However, you can see with your own eyes, it's actually fairly spacious. Yes, it's maybe a cubic foot smaller than some other cars, but if you want to have 2 sets of golf clubs in here, no problem at all. In fact, you could have 2 sets of golf clubs and a lot of other gear. Family person like me with 3 kids, if I want to go to Costco, I can load it up for bear, no problem at all. These struts don't get in the way, and so a lot of cars have a big hook right here. It might have a spacious trunk, but as soon as I close the lid, that hook really takes up a lot of space. These struts don't take up any space at all. Rear view camera tells us that it has navigation. In fact, let's take a look inside, take a look at that navigation. Now, the navigation has 2 different formats. One where it can be straight up and down. That's kind of how all navigation units are, where it reads like you're holding a map right in front of you. Or you can do what's called bird's eye, and so that's kind of a 3D mode, where instead of looking at it like this, it looks at it like this. And so you kind of have a depth of field. And so it's more normal on the eyes. And so as you're driving, if I'm looking, I'm pointed at Kingsgate right here. Instead of Kingsgate being at the top of the map, it's kind of like how I would see it out in front of me. And it does make it easier if you use the navigation very loosely like that, where you're using it just to kind of ascertain where you're at instead of using it to plot a specific course. If you're going to plot a specific course, obviously it does that very well as well. And then it comes with some nice features when you get that navigation, like streaming Bluetooth, like the 9GB hard drive. Of course, it has standard Bluetooth as well. And then it has a rear view camera as well. And so this is a premium package. It has dual zone climate control, Bose, glass moonroof, heated seats, xenon headlamps. I mean, it's very, very well equipped, but it's also a Type S with navigation. And a Type S is a very rare and very cool thing. We don't see them all that often. As of the filming of this video, we've taken a few in at the same time. And so kind of an exciting time for us. We know that they'll sell very quickly. If you have any questions, because this car hasn't even gone through the shop yet, and I'd love to get a copy of the shop report for you, tell you everything that we discover about this particular car. Put me to work, let me know what you need to make the most informed decision. My name's Joe Tunney here at Infiniti of Kirkland. You can reach me anytime at 425 821-1600, or just drop me an email at joet@infinityofkirkland.com.